Yeah, I'm in now. Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. You know, we're all here to speak about manga as per the title suggests. And following on from my last video where I spoke about digital manga, I thought, okay, when I first got the Kindle Unlimited, I was like, what titles are there? Because it was quite hard to find. I don't know if I was just being an idiot. It was most likely me being an idiot, but I found it difficult to find manga that I was interested in or I'd like to read on the Kindle Unlimited, especially like shoujo or josei manga, just because, you know, that's my brand. That's what I live for. What is the point in life if I'm not reading shoujo manga or josei or any kind of romance manga? It doesn't have to be josei, it doesn't have to be shoujo, it could be freaking shonen. For example, I'm reading Love Hina. I know it's ecchi, but it's bloody hilarious. But it's not a recommendation, but if you're into like ecchi comedy, you know, romance, harem-esque romance, then Love Hina, guys. It's on there. The whole series is on there. So yeah, it's a classic, you know. I read it when I was like 14, so I'm like really excited to reread it, you know, something from when I was a kid. But yeah, it's not one of my suggestions, but I do think you guys should check it out if that's what you're into. But today we're focusing solely on josei and shoujo romances, you know. But yeah, so some of these are fully completed, so you don't have to worry about, oh my god, now I have to find like a way to read like the other volumes. Do you buy it physically? Do you buy it digitally? Do you yeah, yes. I'm not gonna say it on video, but you guys know what I mean. But these are all on the Kindle Unlimited. I think only one of them that I'm going to be recommending is ongoing still, but I think it's going to be released fully on Kindle Unlimited just because in the way they've gone about it, because they're releasing all the chapters newly. But might as well start off with that one since we're talking about it. It's actually called A Sign of Affection. I've spoken about this on my Instagram and Twitter before, and it's such a wholesome story, guys. I love the art style. It's like the new watercolor-esque vibes, because that's what shoujo manga is about nowadays. Like all the new shoujo manga have adopted this watercolor vibes art style for some odd reason. Actually, not for some odd reason. Trends happen. Like, you know, for example, in the 80s they had one style with the really big eyes. In the 90s you had the more like square shaped faces, or not square but like the angular shaped faces. Now it's watercolors. But yeah, so A Sign of Affection is so lovely. It's by Sue Morishita, who's doing Shortcake Cake. I think they're a pair of mangakas actually, when I did a bit of research. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I have found out. I didn't know this before. And it's actually about this girl. Forgot her name. So her name was Yuki, and she's just your average college student. She's got her friends, she likes using Instagram, you know, she gets crushes. The one thing is, she's deaf, so life is just that little bit more different for her. And she's just commuting to uni one day, and then she bumps into this guy, and he's just like, ooh, taken aback by her because she didn't hear him, she didn't understand him. And then he finally understood that she was deaf. So it's so cute and wholesome. Like, he actually caters to her needs, and he tries to get to know and understand more about her as not just as a person, but obviously as a person, more about her and her language, her sign language. I can't English, as you guys already know. About her sign language, because he has a genuine interest in languages. He's always traveling around the world, learning different languages. It's just lovely because he doesn't take her deafness as a disability, as more as, oh, I'm genuinely curious, because it's another like culture that he picks up on, you know. And he speaks to her slowly, so it's easy for her to like lip read. They're so wholesome and cute, guys. And like I said, this is an ongoing manga. There's only 2 whole volumes out, but there are chapters that are going to be in volume 3 out as well. So, you know, if you're interested and you're not in a rush to finish something, then give this a go. It's wholesome, it's lovely. That's all I'm about, you guys. That's all I'm about. I'm all about wholesome, lovely romances. So the next manga is called The Full-Time Wife Escapist, and as the name suggests, it's bloody hilarious. I was peeing my pants from laughing. Not literally, obviously not literally, that'll be worrying. But you know, it's freaking jokes. So it's about this girl who has just graduated university and she's struggling to find a job. She doesn't know what to do with her life, as I feel like a lot of us have been there, done that. As an old woman, your Oba-chan, your friendly Oba-chan here, has already experienced that, and probably most of my viewers have already experienced that. I don't know how many young kids are watching this video, but yeah, there's a period after university where you're just there like, what is the point in life? What am I doing? Unless you're lucky and you get a grad job before you graduate. But yeah, so this girl hasn't, you know, found a job. She's kind of unlucky like me. And her dad's like, stop wasting your life, do something with it. So he's like to one of his colleagues, do you need a maid? Here is my daughter, take her, have her. I don't want her anymore. That's not true, he didn't say that, but you know. So now she's working as a maid for this guy, and her dad's like, bye bye, I'm moving off to Hokkaido, or I think it's Hokkaido, can't remember, but he's moving off to somewhere, and now she's stuck with this guy she's working for as a maid. And that's how our story develops. It's jokes, and I feel like it fits the standard trope of two people living together. They don't like each other, but they end up liking each other. Or do they? What do you guys think? I mean, it's quite cliche. I mean, you're not reading a romance manga to be kept on your toes. You're reading a romance manga and you know what's going to happen. Duh. But yeah, and the next one that I'm going to be suggesting for you guys to read is That Wolf Boy Is Mine. I loved this one. It's only 4 volumes long, so if you're looking for a quick read, you want to finish within a couple of hours, this is it for you. It's by the same author who did Love in Focus. I have it somewhere on my shelf. It's not this one, by the way. It's by the same author called Yoko Nogiri. But yeah, so she does That Wolf Boy Is Mine, and I loved it. The only problem was, I feel like they needed at least another 2 more volumes, or like even 1 more volume even. Just because I felt like it was just a little bit rushed at the end, but you love the characters so much that you kind of look past the rushed ending, because even though it was a bit rushed, it wasn't like so rushed that it destroyed the whole story. It didn't, so it's still worth giving it a read. It's just that you kind of do want more because you get so attached to the characters, which is a good thing, which, you know, means that she did well. She's engaged you guys, or engaged me as a reader, and has made me fall in love with a bunch of characters within a short space of time. So it's basically about this girl called Komuguri. It's about this girl who's in high school, and she actually moves to Hokkaido, and she bumps into this guy who goes to her school, and she eventually finds out he's actually a werewolf. Or like, I feel like in English terms he's a werewolf, but like in Japanese terms he's like half human, half like wolf ayakashi, like wolf god type of thing. So yeah, basically a werewolf, and she gets introduced to his world and like how difficult it is to be a half human, half animal god in a human world, and how he has to fit into this human world. It's cute, it's lovely, and there are little bits where your heart breaks a little and you're just like, no, you guys, I love you, be together, please. But you know, you need to read it to find out what happens. It's really good. I recommend it. Obviously, that's why it's on this video. But yeah, it's a quick, short fluff inject. You know, that's what I need when I have a shit day, I want to just read fluffy stuff that will just make me go like, yeah, kind of vibes. But yeah, the next one I'm going to recommend to you guys is The Silent Voice. This isn't so fluffy in the sense that you're like, ah, cute, lovely. It's more like, oh my god, heartbreak, sad, deep trauma, sad. But I feel like a lot of you guys have probably already watched the film. It's like an amazing film. It's brilliant. We all loved it. I have the Blu-ray. It's that good. But if you haven't already watched it, it's basically about this guy called Shoya. I'm really bad with names, and the girl's name's Shoko actually. I do know that much. But yeah, so this girl, they both go to high school, boy and girl. But they actually met in elementary school, and she was deaf and continues to be deaf, but she was deaf in elementary school, and he bullied her really horribly for it. Like, he did horrible stuff. And I think when he finally came to terms with, like elementary school, I'm not justifying the fact that he bullied her. That should have been called out. He should have stopped doing it. His parents, should have stepped in sooner. But he does learn as he gets older that it wasn't right, and he kind of has this deep-rooted self-hatred which he needs to come to terms with. And yeah, that's what the whole film is pretty much about. Like, you see him go through his high school life trying to come to terms with his self-hatred and trying to learn to forgive himself and seek for forgiveness from the girl. It is bittersweet. It's lovely. If you want to shed a few tears, read A Silent Voice, guys. It's like 7 volumes long. Also, a short read, not as short as that Wolf Boy's Mine, but it's another one that you can read in a day, on a weekend, because I know a lot of us work 9 to however late we work. And the last but not least one, I absolutely love this one. It's a kind of humour that's not like slapstick or like obvious. It's very like sarcastic and subtle, and it's made me laugh literally out loud. Not like ha ha ha, just like like, I'm just embarrassing myself now, but it is what it is at this point. It's just more like a quick snicker or a quick giggle type of read. This one is 7 volumes as well, actually. Oh, yeah, this one's 7 volumes as well. But yeah, it's called Our Precious Conversations. The entire series is on Kindle Unlimited. It's actually digital only, so you can't own it in print. It's actually, it's so sad, you guys. Like, I know I'm advocating digital manga, but this is one series I would love to see on my shelf. And I know I'll read it more than once. That's why I need it on my shelf. But yeah, it's about this girl and this boy who are in high school. The boy's name's Azuma, the girl's name is Nozomi, and yeah, so this girl actually has really severe social anxiety. She doesn't know how to talk to people that well. She does have friends, but like her friend is also unsociable, but like a bit more confident than her. But yeah, she's not like popular or anything. She just like has her one friend. And she likes this guy called Azuma. And she's like, oh, how do I tell this guy that I like him? How? I don't know how to speak to people. How am I going to tell him I like him? So one day she just follows him home, which is a tad stalkerish, so don't do it in real life, but it works in this manga. And just like sits next to him at the train station, like with a seat apart. And then she just asks him a question. And then he replies very sarcastically. And it's just lovely to see how their conversations change on a daily basis. Like, the first few conversations are very similar. It's like a gradual change. And then they start hanging out at school during lunches. And again, they're having these conversations. And not only is she learning to open up to someone who isn't just her one friend, he kind of introduces her to his friends because he's very popular, he gets along with loads of people, so she's like slowly becoming a bit more sociable so she can actually interact with people at school. And he slowly started to understand women, because in the beginning he just thinks all women are crazy and we do things for the fun of it and we have no logic to our thinking. And he gets this very, very general, slightly misogynistic view because of his 4 crazy aunts, who are freaking crazy, by the way. But, you know, the more he interacts with Nozomi, he learns more about women in general. So, like, you know, he's a high school boy. What is he gonna know, really and truly? How many of us are that, like, socially and emotionally intelligent at that age, please? But yeah, so he learns more about women, and then eventually, do they catch feelings? Does he finally respond to her feelings? I wonder, guys, I wonder what will happen. But, you know, more than the end outcome, it's more about the daily conversations they have, and it's their conversations which I absolutely adored. I absolutely loved them. I just feel as though, I don't know how to tell you guys, until and unless you read the actual manga itself, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just the sarcastic banter, just the, you know, I love their relationship, and I love the way they change, like what's getting to know each other more, what's learning about each other more, what's learning to appreciate each other more. So yeah, I think I would say that's been my favourite series out of the however many manga I recommended to you guys. So if you're gonna read any of these series, read Our Precious Conversations. They're lovely. And yeah, hope you enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at @thebakahime. You know, or not just Instagram, Twitter as well. Maybe not Twitter because I ramble and chat a lot of crap on there, but Instagram, follow me, say hi. Let me know what you guys are reading. Recommend me any romance mangas that you guys think I should read, whether it be digital, whether it be on Kindle Unlimited. But if it's on Kindle Unlimited, it will help me out because it's kind of hard to find stuff on there unless you already know what's there. Because like you can search for manga and then you get like a bunch of random crap, and there's a lot of like obvious stuff like Attack on Titan or like Shaman King. Like, give me something more, give me something obscure, please. But yeah, hope you guys had a good Valentine's. Bye bye.